Unlisted videos. Insider drops. The only way in is through my private SMS list.
Chuck Schumer's having a complete meltdown on CNN because Republicans are forcing Democrats to take a public stand on the Save America Act. What he accidentally revealed about who Democrats really consider their constituents will make your blood boil. This goes far deeper than simple voter ID. And here's what's really at stake. You see, Democrats are terrified because, as we've been reporting, polling shows 76% of black Americans, 82% of Latino Americans, 85% of white Americans support voter ID requirements. Yet when asked to stand for protecting American citizens over illegal aliens, Democrats remain seated. Why is that? It's because they built their entire political machine on mass illegal immigration. They depend on inflated census counts. They depend on ballot harvesting. Yes, they depend on non-citizen voting. The Save America Act would require proof of citizenship to register to vote, and Schumer admits it would purge tens of millions from the voter rolls. Think about that number. Tens of millions. How many non-citizens are actually registered to vote right now? But you see, this is not just about elections. This is about America's entire security infrastructure, and that includes our energy independence. Now, this is some breaking news. It actually happened on January 5th, right at the cusp of the new year. The U.S. Department of Energy announced $2.7 billion in contracts to restore domestic uranium enrichment capabilities. Now, this is not just government spending. It's a declaration of intent because America needs uranium. It needs domestic uranium, and it needs it right now. Now, if you didn't know this, the U.S. consumes over 50 million pounds of uranium annually. Yet we're 95% dependent on foreign sources. Russia, they control global enrichment. China is stockpiling while Democrats focus on protecting non-citizen voters. Smart Americans are positioning themselves in the uranium sector. Now, Atomic Minerals, they have secured exploration rights. Ready for this? Across 15,000 acres in Wyoming's uranium belt. Now, my friends, these are not speculative plays. These are strategic national security investments. So I want you to do something for me. I want you to go to the link that's down below and review the briefing that's been prepared for you to learn how uranium could secure both America's energy future and your financial future. Because while politicians play games with our elections, the uranium shortage is creating real opportunities for real Americans. Now, here's the part that should terrify every American. Schumer didn't deny that tens of millions would be purged from voter rolls. He actually defended it. He's essentially admitting that Democrats depend on non-citizen participation in our elections. And when the Heritage Foundation asked politicians to stand for American citizens over illegal aliens, when Trump did that, every Democrat remained seated. They couldn't even pretend to put America first. Senator Ron Johnson, at a minimum, Republicans should bring the SAVE Act to the Senate floor and make Democrats explain for days on end why they oppose what about 80% of Americans support. Here he is with Maria Bartiromo.
The Save America Act stand. Do you expect that you have John Thune's support to bring it to the floor? Will it ever see the light of day?
So I understand why a lot of my colleagues are clinging to the past and want to maintain the filibuster because it's kept us from being a socialist nation earlier. But those days are gone. Democrats have shown us their hands. They purged the two senators who prevented them ending the filibuster last time. Next time they get power, they'll end the filibuster. We ought to do it now, and we need to do it to secure our border, to secure our elections, the Save America Act. At a minimum, okay, right now we don't have the votes to end the filibuster. At a minimum, we ought to bring the Save America Act to the floor and make Democrats defend why they are opposed to something that American public supports. What, 80% of the American public, they want voter ID. They don't want their legitimate vote canceled by a fraudulent one. So bring it to the floor. Let's force Democrats to talk about it, defend their indefensible position for days and days at a time.
But you won't be able to do that while the Department of Homeland Security is shut down, right?
Oh, no, we can do it.
We can do it.
Well, Other lawmakers just recently told me that it doesn't make sense to do a talking filibuster if you've got the Department of Homeland Security shut down. So will you do it then? When can we expect a talking filibuster?
Certainly people like myself, Mike Lee, Rick Scott, we were in the Oval Office for 2 hours a couple of weeks ago, kind of mapping out this strategy. Again, the American people had put pressure on Senate, hopefully on Senate Democrats, to deliver what the American people want, which is voter security.
What do you want to say to the critics who say if you remove the filibuster, Democrats are going to do the same and they're going to jam through their policies that may be against American values because there's no filibuster?
I'm sympathetic with the argument, but again, that's what Democrats are going to do. We're going to be schmucks when they get the majority and they get rid of the filibuster. They turn D.C. and Puerto Rico into states to pack Supreme Court, and we're going to go, maybe we should have done it to save America, not consolidate our power.
Yeah, you know that's coming. That's why we got to get rid of the filibuster now. Johnson's call for floor action is already gaining powerful allies, and Elon Musk just made a game-changing stand. Elon Musk asked for leader John Thune to force a talking filibuster to save America, the Save America Act, so it could pass.
And if so, when?
Well, we will. We'll put the Democrats on the record. And it's a stark contrast, Aisha. The Democrats, even in the chamber last night, having to sit there and try and defend allowing non-citizens to vote in American elections. That is a losing proposition for them. So we will get a vote on it. And we are right now in the middle of a government shutdown, so we've got to try and get the government opened up first. But in due time, we will get that up on the floor. We will have a vote on it. We will make sure that the Democrats are on the record. It is a stark contrast between Republicans and Democrats about how they want to handle elections in this country. And this is going to put them, I think, in a very difficult position. It's an issue, if I were running as a Democrat in the midterm elections in November, I wouldn't want to have to defend.
Imagine when they do have to go defend when they do have to go defend it on the floor of the Senate. They're going to have to sit there and talk for hours and hours and hours and justify why they should allow illegal aliens the right to vote. I mean, the sound bites from just those floor speeches in any of those campaign commercials are going to be devastating. Oh, yeah. Elon Musk asking Thune to force the talking filibuster. Stop the abuse of the filibuster now. While Musk pushes procedural strategy, Democrats are revealing their true position on voter ID. Democrat Alex Padilla says Republicans are rigging the election. I just laugh. Republicans are rigging the election by trying to pass voter ID laws. I mean, seriously, dude?
Secretary Noem said the quiet part out loud when she was in Arizona last week. This administration only wants, quote, the right people to vote. Their record is so bad, their only chance of staying in power this November is to rig the November elections, and we're going to stand up to it.
Yeah, one of the very few policy proposals he endorsed was indeed this so-called SAVE Act for that.
Democrats want to cheat so badly that they think requiring voter ID is considered rigging. Libs of TikTok. As Democrats call voter ID rigging, grassroots pressure is mounting with daily demands for Senate action. Scott Presser. This is day 56 of asking leader John Thune to pass the Save America Act. House passed with bipartisan support. Senate has 50. President Trump, we have to stop the cheating, John.
Most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act.
Now, I've said this before. I'll say it again. If this is the only accomplishment of the Trump administration, part 2, this will change America. This is probably the most important bill that could ever pass through the House and the Senate and land on President Trump's desk. This is the most important thing.
To stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. That cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant. It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID. All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote. And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. None. And this should be an easy one. And by the way, it's polling at 89%, including Democrats. 89%. And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot. Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a Social Security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. No, it's no good. No good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated. And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens. And the reason they don't want to do it, why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason. They make up all excuses. They say it's racist. They come up with things. You almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated. And their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And we're going to stop it. We have to stop it, John.
We have to stop it. The sustained pressure campaign clearly rattling Democrat leadership. Schumer's latest CNN appearance proves it. Schumer is losing his mind on CNN after Trump renewed calls for the Save America Act to be passed out of the Senate last night. He says it will purge tens of millions of Americans from voting lists. When he says Americans, he really means everyone living in America illegally.
The goals are here.
I want to ask about, he talked a lot about the Save America Act, which I do understand is different than just voter ID. What's being put before the Senate is asking for people to have real ID or a passport or a birth certificate to register. When people are generally asked about voter ID, they're being asked to show an ID when they show up to vote. But what I'm asking you, Senator, because I know you're against the Save America Act, what kind of voter ID could you support? Is there a middle ground?
Look, Democrats support voter ID, and many states do, but that's not what the SAVE Act does. It will purge tens of millions of Americans from the voting lists, and they won't even know they're purged till they show up at the polling place and they say you're purged. And what is the mechanism for purging them? DOGE, what Elon Musk put in terms of the policies of what to do. Do people want ICE to determine who should vote and who should not vote? That is so un-American. So the SAVE Act goes way, way beyond mere voter ID when you show up at the election place. It goes to purging it's estimated 20, 30, 40 million Americans would not be allowed to vote if this act took effect. It is outrageous, and as I have said, it is Jim Crow 2.0. It's
so forget the SAVE Act, but is there is not the Save America Act or SAVE Act, but is there some kind of voter ID you could vote for?
Yes, there is. Democrats have voted for voter ID at the polling places over and over again. And that's not the issue with the SAVE Act.
Okay. Senator Chuck Schumer, thank you for your time this morning. Appreciate you being with us. Kate?
Yeah.
Good to have.
Okay, sure, Chuck. The Heritage Foundation, the ask was simple. Stand if you believe your number one duty is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. The left remains seated. They view illegal aliens as their constituents, and they depend on the head count in the census of those illegal aliens.
Agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
So much of the State of the Union is whether one side is going to stand up or remain seated. Are they going to clap? Are they going to respond? He said, please stand if you agree with the following statement. Is that your number one duty, to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens? And the Democrats didn't stand. They remained seated, telling and showing America that they don't view American citizens as their number one priority. They put illegal aliens at the same level as American citizens. They view illegal aliens as their constituents, and that's just absolutely wrong. But why did they do it? It's to hang on to political power. They have built their political house of cards on mass illegal immigration, and they depend on votes. They depend on ballot harvesting in the name of illegal aliens, and they depend on the head count in the census of those illegal aliens and other non-citizens for their very congressional district seats and for electoral college votes. And it needs to end, and we need to pass the Save America Act.
It's time for Senate Leader John Thune to force the Democrats into standing filibuster. 76% of black Americans, 82% of Latino Americans, 85% of white Americans all are for it. See, this is the moment of truth. Senate Republicans have the power to force a standing filibuster, make Democrats argue against citizenship requirements on live television, make them explain why requiring proof of citizenship is somehow racist when 76% of black Americans support it. The Save America Act isn't just about voter ID. It's about whether America belongs to Americans or to anyone who shows up. Democrats are panicking. Why? They're panicking because they know their entire political future depends on non-citizen participation in our elections. And what happened? Well, Schumer accidentally told the truth. Requiring citizenship would purge tens of millions from the voter rolls. John Thune has the power to force this vote and expose exactly who Democrats really represent. So the question is simple. Do you believe that American elections should be decided by American citizens? Answer below. And check out the Next News merch shop for gear that shows you stand with America first, and let's see if Republicans have the backbone to force this fight.
The system controls information. Information control is power. They don't want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.